So this Stoich problem says, how many grams of calcium hydroxide is needed to neutralize 1.65 times 10 to the 24th molecules of hydrochloric acid? So now they're not giving you the equation. You have to figure it out from the process. So calcium hydroxide is needed. Okay, that means it's a reactant. CaOH2 is needed to neutralize. Okay, so then you have to know what neutralize. Neutralize means put two things together. So that means our other product is hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric means a binary acid. Hydrogen as your cation, chlorine as your anion. Okay. Right, so they gave you the two reactants. So even though they're not talking about any of the products, you still need to get the proper mole ratio. So you still need a balanced chemical equation. This is two couples, calcium mixed with hydroxide and hydrogen mixed with chlorine. So you know it's a double replacement reaction or cation swap. So hydrogen is now going to go with the hydroxides or water. And calcium is going to go with the chlorine, calcium chloride. So let's get this guy balanced. Okay, is that all? One calcium, two hydroxide, oops. 2. Okay. One calcium, two OHs, two OHs, two H's, two H's, two Cl's, two Cl's. Good. Add those ones in there so you don't forget. And now we can go back to the problem. Maybe you'll have to read the problem a couple of times to get it. How many grams of calcium hydroxide? Okay, that means we're looking for grams, calcium hydroxide, written right above it. Needed to neutralize 1.65 times 10 to the 24th molecules of hydrochloric acid. So we won't use these guys in the mole ratio, but if we didn't balance here, we wouldn't have known that there are 2 hydrochloric acids for every 1 calcium hydroxide. So we write down what we know, 1.65 times 10 to the 24th molecules is where we're starting with of HCl, and we're getting to grams. All right, so we're going from molecules of hydrogen chloride over to grams of calcium hydroxide. So on Archipelago A, we're starting with molecules, so that's down here in particles. We can't just skip right over to the other island. We have to go to mole island. So we're going to use that 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd to get to mole island. And then to get to calcium hydroxide, we got to use that mole ratio. That's going to get us over to the mole island for the unknown chemical. And then we have to find grams. So we're going to then go up to grams. And I do recommend you guys having this out and actually putting materials on it so that you can make sure you're not getting lost in the pathway. Molecules is from particle island to moles, and you use Avogadro's to do there. There's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of hydrochloric acid in every 1 mole. We know molecules had to go on the bottom because molecules was on the top over here, and they have to cancel. I write MOLEC so it doesn't get confused with moles. I still am in hydrochloric land, so I'm still on mole island A, but I gotta get to mole island B. So now I'm gonna put the unknown moles on the bottom, the known moles on the bottom and the unknown moles on the top. Okay. And there is 1 calcium hydroxide mole for every 2 hydrogen chloride moles. So now, if I canceled, I would be at moles of calcium hydroxide, but I need to have grams. Hopefully I have enough room over here. So for every 1 mole of that, I would need to find that molar mass to get from moles to grams. Calcium 40.02. Oxygen is 16.00, but there's 2 of them. Hydrogen 1.011, so there's 2 of them. 40.02 plus 16 times 2 plus 1.01 times 2 That gives me a molar mass of 74.04 grams per mole for calcium hydroxide. 74.04 grams. Okay, now I'm going to officially cancel so that I can feel good about myself that I made it to the end. Grams of calcium hydroxide, grams of calcium hydroxide. And what's my answer? 1.65 e to the 24th times 74.04 divided by 6.02 to the e to the 23rd divided by 2, and I get 101.4667, 3 sig figs, 101 grams calcium hydroxide.